Everyone unmute yourself, and we're going to sing a big happy birthday to our most amazing Dr. Joel Wallach. Ready? Everyone unmuted. When you're ready.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy
birthday, Dr.
Wallach. Happy birthday to you.
Hooray!
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 And many more.
Happy birthday, Dr. Wallach. Thank you, Gracie. If everybody can mute
lied.
themselves, that would be terrific. We have a 1 hour call with Dr. Wallach this week, number 39. I want to thank Gracie for this 1 hour we had before that. This call is recorded, so it will be posted on the New Zealand official Facebook page very shortly with the minutes, like all the other calls are. This call is open for everybody. Doesn't matter what team you are. If you are a customer or distributor, somebody's invited you to the call. If you want to know more about this call, please contact the person that referred this call to you. Youngevity is a direct selling company, and we have offices in New Zealand and North America. New Zealand's 1-800-756-467, USA's 1-800-982-3189. I want to thank Sheryl Morley and Paul Croto for being on the call training today, Tracy as well, who is head of sales. And I am Jamel, Boukabou, 2-star executive with Youngevity International. Dr. Wallach's changed my life, changed my health, and also I do this as a job as a distributor. So if you want to know more about that, please contact the person who referred this call to you. But Sheryl and Paul, firstly, I want to say g'day, Dr. Wallach. Dr. Wallach is on the call right now. Sheryl and Paul, do you want to take it away and a bit of an intro, and we'll go from there? And
Yeah,
get to Dr. Wallach.
Yes. Hi, Dr. Wallach. First, I have somebody.
Hi, Sheryl.
I have somebody here that wants to wish you happy birthday.
Well, happy birthday, Dr. Wallach, and you've made so many other people have birthdays that wouldn't have otherwise had them, that you deserve one for yourself, I think.
Well, thank you so much. You're very kind.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Dr. Wallach. I met Dr. Wallach like 27 years ago. I was plucked out of Taco Bell, and what a blessing. He's been really a blessing in my life. And he introduced me to my husband. So that was really a plus. Thank you, Dr. Wallach. But Dr. Wallach is just an amazing man. He has a heart for people. He has the most amazing story. He was a veterinarian, then a physician, and he just really has dedicated his entire life to helping other people, to help, absolutely myself, but also to so many other people. And then he told us years ago that he wanted us to turn around and help other people and join him in this crusade that he's had. He's written books. He does a radio show for 2 hours every single day. And I know that he's just itching to get out there and back on the road again to do all of those seminars. But now he's doing them on Zoom. And so with that, I'd like to turn the time over to a dear friend who really saw something in me when I couldn't even see it in myself. And I will always love him for that and appreciate for everything that he's done for me. So thanks, Dr. Wallach, and take it away and happy birthday.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Sheryl and Jonathan. I appreciate you. You guys are the greatest. And thank you so much for zooming out there to Australia. Okay. Well, today I want to talk a little bit. I think since the COVID's getting quiet, it's starting to reduce, you just have to appreciate that the odds are there'll be another pandemic in anywhere from 6 months to 2-3 years. That's kind of the history of it. And so don't start eating the bad foods. Stay away from the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bread, rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Absolutely stay on your 90 essential nutrients. Give your immune system, your bone marrow, and your body what it needs to defend itself, and you'll come out of this okay. But there's more bad things coming, okay? Don't think it's all over, because history has shown that either the same thing comes back or A parallel bug would be worse, could be not quite so bad, but coming. So pay attention. Don't forget our colloidal silver. Don't forget our hand sanitizer, and you know, you'll be good. All right, the thing that I want to talk about and what makes Youngevity unique is that we deal with all the diseases that are said to be genetic and autoimmune. There are no genetically transmitted diseases. There are no genetically transmitted birth defects. And this was a big, big, big misstep by the medical profession. You have to appreciate that the doctors say, you know, what did you learn in school? Well, we learned how to manage disease. Did you learn how to cure diseases? Well, you know, when they're genetic and autoimmune, you can't cure them, you can just manage them. Well, that's like a dairy farmer managing a herd of cows. Okay, now they want to get everybody to be immune, and they want you to have, quote, herd immunity, just like a herd of dairy cows, okay? And so what you have to do is appreciate and look back all the diseases that we're associated with, we got rid of, okay? And let's go back to a couple thousand years ago when there were 8 plagues, 8 years in a row. And this was Moses, you know, he was trying to get the Pharaoh to release the Hebrew slaves. They'd been in slavery for 400 years with the Egyptians. And so Moses kept saying, look, you know, this isn't good, you got to let them go. And the Pharaoh said, yeah, out of your mind. Okay, and so the plague came. And then the next year the plague came. The next year the plague came for 8 years. In the 8th year, the Pharaoh's oldest son died of the plague. And so he said, well, maybe there's something to this God thing. And he turned the Hebrews loose after 400 years. And the next year there was no more plague. After 8 years of plague, there was no more plague. It was done. And so I went and I kind of looked everything up. And I'm starting, you know, I'm a pathologist, I'm a researcher. So I said, okay, this is really cool here. But there has to be a scientific basis for this as well as a spiritual basis to it. So what I found out was 2 things. I asked the question of all the research, what was it that the Hebrew slaves are doing for the Egyptians? Were they babysitting and cooking and doing the dishes and washing their clothes, sweeping the sidewalks? What were they doing? No, they're growing grain for the Egyptian armies. They're dealing in thousands of acres of land, growing barley and wheat. Gluten alert, gluten alert, gluten alert, gluten alert. Okay, that's very important because the very next year, the 9th year, there was no more plague. Why was that? Well, that's because during that 400 years, when the Hebrews were taking care of those 1,000-acre fields with barley and wheat, they didn't have enough wood ashes to be fertilizer in those fields. So they just took the wood ashes from their wood stoves and their fireplaces and put them in their little gardens. And the wood ashes are really minerals. And the minerals were good for their bone marrow and their immune systems. And so that's why the Hebrews never died from the plague. Well, when the Hebrews left, they didn't have enough people to work those 1,000-acre fields. So now all these Egyptians had to have their own little gardens, but now they had enough wood ashes to go into the gardens, and they're getting minerals sucked up by the carrots and the peppers and the onions and things like that, and peas and beans and squash and tomatoes, and they would eat them and they get the minerals that way, and good for their immune system, good for their bone marrow. And so that's why the plague stopped. God is very smart. Okay, so we'll give God all the credit for that. But there is actually a scientific basis for what happened here. Then the smallpox came. It was bad. Every year it would kill a lot of people. Okay, we don't know statistically correctly how many there were, but it was the big plague of the day a couple of thousand years ago after the 8 plagues, smallpox. And there was a guy, he was a country doctor in England, little country doctor in England by the name of Edward Jenner. And he came up with a vaccine, okay, in 1797 for smallpox. It kind of ended that plague. And then almost 100 years later, 1858 or 1885, there was a rabies pandemic in Russia. People are dying, animals are dying like crazy because of the rabies. And so a guy from France, Louis Pasteur, came out with a rabies vaccine and got all the dogs and cats and people vaccinated and stopped the plague. And then there was another plague in 1918, which we'll talk about in a minute, in 1919. But I'm going to pop up to the 1950s when polio was a big deal. Now, polio didn't kill kids, but it paralyzed them. And it didn't give much attack to adults, but it did affect mostly kids. And there was a guy by the name of Salk, Jonas Salk, who came up with a polio vaccine, and it kind of ended the polio thing. And then, we had all these other things, H1N1, we had SARS and MERS and COVID-2, and now COVID-19. Well, let's go back to 1918, 1919. This is one of the worst plagues that and pandemics that Europe and Asia and North America had seen. Okay, we had the United States. We had something like 657,000 people die in 2 years. India had 20 million die in 6 months. And so I asked the question, tell me about India. Research, tell me about India. And so what I found out was that India had 2 different populations. Now they're all homogenous people, same people. There's 3 or 4 religions that are very similar, like different Christian religions are very similar in India. But in the northern 9 states, they had 95% of the deaths and 87% of the infections of the Spanish flu in 1918, 1919. But they also had the same thing here with the COVID-19 pandemic. And they had 87% of the infections in the northern 9 states. And that happened again. Okay. And so the southern 20 states and 7 territories only had 5% of the 5% of the deaths and 13% of the infections. So what's the difference? So I went to the World Health Organization, went through all their data, and the 29 states and the 7 territories eat differently because of the terrain and the how much rain they get and so forth, and the elevation. It turns out that the northern 9 states that have the worst possibilities there, 2 things were happening in India in 1918 and 1919. Number one, the English were there for over 100 years. They occupied India and made them part of the Commonwealth. And they're drafting their teenagers and their 20-year-olds and putting them in the British Commonwealth military and sending them around the world to fight wars for them in India. Okay. And so because they're eating gluten, they couldn't absorb nutrition. And that's why they had problems. The bug got them. Now, the southern 20 states and 7 territories, because of the weather, low altitudes, swamps, rainforest, they grew rice and sweet potatoes and beans and squash and seaweed, and that's what they ate. That's why it had so little in the way of infections and deaths from the 1918, 1919 Spanish flu. Well, the same thing is happening now in India, same principle. 95% of the deaths are occurring in the northern 9 states, and 87% of the infections are in the northern 9 states. Only 5% of the deaths are in the southern states, and only 13% of the infections are in the southern states. So what's going on in India now? Well, they have the COVID-19. They're going up at a rate in India of 1 million new cases every 3 days, because they have 350,000 to 500,000 new cases every day. And they have 5,000 new deaths every day. And, here in the United States, a year and a half ago, we were told that the COVID-19 was a nothing virus. Just wear a mask, wash your hands, and stay distant 6 feet, and everything will be fine. But what did we get for following that? We got 34,190,145 infections. We got 612,185 deaths. Okay, that doesn't sound like a nothing virus. So what's going on? Well, again, America, coming from the European countries mostly, we wound up with a dead immune system, and most people weren't supplementing. And so their immune system was dead for 2 reasons. Number one, they were eating gluten, killing their intestines. So whatever was maybe in their diet, they couldn't absorb, and they weren't supplementing. And so they had 2 negatives there. And that's why we have 34 million infections and 612,000 dead. Well, the vaccine came along about 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago, and the rate of the infections and deaths are going down, and everybody's excited. Boy, they're taking their mask off, they're running around. Well, you have to appreciate that the vaccines only work when you're able to absorb nutrition and get nutrition to get to your immune system to make antibodies and white blood cells to go kill and eat the viruses. The vaccines do not kill viruses. They do not alone protect you. You have to have a good, healthy intestine to absorb nutrition. You have to supplement to guarantee you're going to get the 90 essential nutrients to give your immune system what it wants. Now, the same thing is true in Australia. Australia is kind of interesting. You have approximately the same population as our state of Texas, about 27 million people. And Australia has 910 dead from the pandemic. And let's see here, 30,150 infections. Texas, with the same population, has 51,904 dead. No, I take that back, there's 57,904 dead, and 2,960,267 infections. Huge difference, same population, so what's going on here? Well, Texas, when you look at them county by county, 40, 50, 60% of the population are Latinos, Blacks, and Indigenous peoples, all of whom eat nothing but wheat, butter, and oats. In Australia, you eat a lot of maize, you eat a lot of corn, rice, sweet potatoes, and seaweed and all that kind of stuff, okay? And so your diet is totally different than that of Texas. It's a dietary thing, it's not a racial thing. So I urge you to continue doing your diet. And if you're eating any wheat, I'd get the wheat, butter, and oats out of your diet. And I like the fact that you have a rice beer, okay, in both Australia and New Zealand, okay? And of course, there's rice beer in Japan and China. And that's why the Asians have such a low rate of pandemic infections and deaths, okay? They're kind of like the southern states of India. They live on rice and sweet potatoes and beans and squash and seaweed. And the seaweed provides all these minerals, which give you a healthy bone marrow, healthy immune system. And that's why they're protected. When you compare, let me give you two comparisons here, and then we'll turn it back over to Jamel for some questions. But I think it's worth these two comparisons. Let's see here. Number one, let's compare Nigeria in western coast of Africa, the west coast of Africa, versus Brazil from South America. They both have about 208 million people. They both have about 208 million people. Okay. And let's see here. Let me get this piece of paper up here to my eyes where I can read it properly. Okay, here we go. And so let's look at Nigeria. Okay, 208 million people. They're 98% Black, indigenous, tribal peoples. Okay, and they have 2,000 dead, 166,000 infections. Brazil, they're 47% white. Europeans came there 300-400 years ago because they found silver and gold there. You have 47% mulattoes. They're biracial. They're half Black, half white, and then 9% Black. They have, let's see here, 450,026 dead, and they have 16,121,815 infections. Huge difference between infections and deaths between Brazil and Nigeria. 166,000 infections in Nigeria, 16 million infections in Brazil, 2,000 dead in Nigeria, and 450,000 dead in Brazil. Huge difference. What's the difference? Well, Nigeria is living on rice and sweet potatoes and beans and squash and seaweed. And again, because of that impact of those 47% Europeans who brought wheat, brown, and oats with them, taught the Brazilians to eat that way. And they're living on nothing but wheat, brown, and oats. And that's why they have such a terrible numbers there. They're acting like Europeans. Now, let's look at another piece of information here. The piece you have to appreciate is that when you look at the, let's look at one more comparison here. Let's look at Thailand with 67 million people in Thailand. Okay, and let's look at France with 67 million people. Thailand has 518 dead. Okay, and France has 107,280 dead. Thailand, okay, with the same population as France, 67 million people, has 93,000 infections, and France has 5,882,000. Huge difference again. Well, why is that? Well, Thailand is Asian. They live on nothing but rice and beans and squash and seaweed and sweet potatoes. And France lives on wheat, brought around oats. Even their beer is made from wheat, brought around oats. And so when you kill the villi in your intestine, it can't absorb efficiently. When you don't supplement to give your bone marrow and your immune system what it needs to protect you, you cannot even respond to the vaccinations. Again, vaccinations don't kill viruses, bacteria, fungus, or yeast. They just lure your body to the bad DNA and RNA in the bug. So when the bug appears, you say, there's the bad guy. And you send the white blood cells and antibodies to go kill and eat the virus. Well, guess what? If you're not absorbing nutrition because you're eating gluten, your intestines are dead. You're not supplementing to give your bone marrow and your immune system what it needs to make white blood cells and antibodies and red blood cells and platelets to go kill and eat the virus. You're not going to respond well. And there's people who are dying who've been vaccinated. People say, oh, it must be the variant from Australia. It must be the variant from India. No, it's not the variant. They just can't make enough antibodies and white blood cells to go kill and eat the virus because they've been eating gluten. Okay, it's that simple. And so in our states, we have 50 states, and our top 10 states, when it comes to the numbers of deaths and infections, they have the highest numbers of Latinos and Blacks and indigenous peoples. It averages like 40 to 60% of these different peoples, these different races. But it's not a racial thing, it's their diet, because they all live on wheat, barley, rye, and oats. So it's unimpeachable evidence. You have to make sure they're just staying away from the bad stuff, taking all your 90 essential nutrients, and it's up to you whether you get the vaccination or not. But if you get the vaccination, you're going to get more benefit from it if you take your supplements and stay away from all the bad foods. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Jamel. And it's one of those things where just remember, the next pandemic is already warming up to come get us. And so you have to do all the good stuff and stay away from the bad stuff.
Thank you, Dr. Wallach, and happy birthday again.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Doc, working on your birthday, great stuff. And Paul Croto was on the call as well, and Sheryl Morley, who is a Diamond Ambassador. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Well, they're like family. They've been with me for almost 30 years. And so, and of course, Sheryl's like one of my daughters. And Jonathan is one of our attorneys. So we were very close to these people. And of course, Paul Croto, he's like a son to me. And these guys work very hard. They are great, great, great ambassadors. They're great trainers. They are great health providers, because they've really learned the lessons. They share the information, and I can't thank them enough.
Well, thank you, Dr. Wallach. We have a lot of people on the call today, and I'm going to get to the questions. And thank you for having your chat box open, everybody. Makes my job. And I want to thank moderator Mike, who's there in the background, assisting with the Q&As as well. So we're going to go to Rose from Melbourne. Rose, if you would like to unmute yourself, you can go ahead and ask Dr. Wallach your question.
Hello, Dr. Wallach. This is Rose from Melbourne. How are you?
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
How can we help you?
All right. Well, this is my situation. I'm 53 years old. In the last few years, I've had very low iron, and I've had I've had a curette. I've had 2 iron infusions to date. I've had a colonoscopy, gastroscopy, and my iron level is still down to 6, and I wasn't absorbing iron tablets, anything to do with that. And I'm at the stage where the doctor, the gynecologist, and the doctor has said, well, we need to either remove your lining or put inserta marina, which I do not want to do any of those things because I think I'm pretty healthy. But I want to know why my body doesn't absorb iron.
Well, that's very easy. It's very easy. How much do you weigh?
I weigh 143.2 pounds.
Okay. Now, do you have any other issues? Do you have any skin issues, any eczema, dermatitis, or psoriasis?
No.
Do you have any bowel problems, constipation, diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, diverticulitis, anything like that?
Well, I'm not very regular, so I don't
Okay.
go to the toilet regularly.
Okay. Now, are you coloring your hair? Or is that your natural hair color?
No, I do color my hair.
So you have some gray hair.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any varicose veins or spider veins in your feet and ankles or legs?
I have one vein and a few spider veins up my upper legs.
Okay, on the thigh or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This is very easy. Are you ready for this?
Yes, tell
You
me.
got your pen up? Okay. You have a gluten issue here. You're not absorbing, and you also have, one other question. Do you have any high blood pressure or diabetes?
No.
Okay. Do you have any ringing in your ears, any tone, like any whooshing in your ears?
Sometimes I do have something in my ear.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Do you have any balance problems?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. Do you have anything going on in your hands and fingers? Any numbness, tingling, anything like that?
Yes, sometimes I have numbness and tingling in my fingers, especially when I wake up
Okay.
in the morning.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here's the deal. You have osteoporosis of the skull.
Oh,
You have osteoporosis of the skull. We actually have a book called It's All in Your Head. It talks about 25 different diseases you get from osteoporosis in the skull. One of which is kind of like sciatica, which is low back, squeezing the nerves to control your legs and feet and toes. And so you get numbness and tingling in your feet and toes, but it's a back problem. They call it peripheral neuropathy. Same way with your hands. The doctor could say, oh, you have carpal tunnel syndrome, you have trigger finger, you got all this stuff going on and numbness and tingling in your hands. But your skull is squeezing your spinal cord as it's coming out. People don't realize it, but your spinal cord is formed in your brain. Comes out of the back of the skull. And when you have osteoporosis, that skull squeezes the spinal cord, squeezes the 12 pairs of cranial nerves, and you get this tinnitus, ringing in the ears. The hair color loss and the vein thing is due to a deficiency. That's not an aging thing. That's due to a deficiency thing. And the thing you got to be aware of is that same deficiency can cause ruptured aneurysms in the brain and the aorta. There's a very famous guy by the name of Michael Jackson. Are you old enough to remember Michael Jackson?
yes,
that
yes, I am.
black entertainer? Okay. And by the time he was, say 15, 16 years old, he started losing the skin color. And his doctors told him, look, you have a genetic disease called vitiligo. There's nothing we can do about it. You had to just wear long sleeve shirts so nobody sees your white skin. And his hair started turning white. And the doctor says, nothing we can do about that. You just got to wear a wig or color your hair. And we want you to wear gloves because your hands are going to turn white, which they did. So he wore gloves with all these jewelry in it, and he wore makeup on his face. Everybody thought that was just part of his entertainment mode, right?
Yep.
But he was doing that to hide the fact that he had turned white. He had just whole body vitiligo, couldn't make any black pigment, any melanin, because he had a gluten problem. He could not absorb nutrition. It was his problem. And he died at age 51 of a ruptured aortic aneurysm, which is also caused by that same problem. Okay, so you need to get off all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, rye oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet ones are all bad, got to go. If you want something for energy, you can use our Rebound, our sports drink. Okay, comes in cans, or 30 in a box and individual servings, either way. But then at 143 pounds, because you have some stuff here that I'm really concerned about, I don't want you dying of a ruptured aneurysm, so we need to jump on this. Ideally, if finances are not a problem, I want you to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of breakfast and dinner. If finances are a problem, I want you to take 1 healthy brain and heart pack, get another bottle of our selenium. 1 bottle of selenium comes with the healthy brain and heart pack, but I want you to take 3 of those selenium at breakfast and 3 at dinner time. Okay. And then if you're going to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs, it's a full dose of breakfast, full dose of dinner time. If you only have 1, it's a half a dose of breakfast, half a dose of dinner time. But I also want you to have our, let's see here, MSM. Get 1 bottle a month of our MSM. So you can take 3 of those twice a day. That's going to support and promote maintenance, repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone breaks, including the skull and the vertebrae and our arms and legs and fingers and all that kind of stuff. Your hair color will come back. The varicose veins will go away.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because
Sounds
it's not
great.
aging. Okay, so just call us every couple of weeks and let us know what's going on. Don't submit to any surgery or anything like that, because these things are very quickly resolvable. And I want your doctor to freak out. He's gonna say, "What are you doing?" Okay. Okay, so thank you.
Okay. Thank
Your
you very
story-
much, Doctor.
Well, you're very welcome. Listen, your testimony, Rose, is going to help so many people. I can't thank you enough.
Oh, thank you, and happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you, dear. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good day.
Thanks, Rose. And these calls are recorded and posted with the minutes up on the New Zealand official Facebook page. Probably got a lot of regulars on the call today, but if you are new to the call, Dr. Wallach is a good friend of mine. He's spoken at the United Nations regularly, recently spoke at Tesla. He's been nominated for a Nobel Prize in Medicine. He's got a book in the Smithsonian. He sold well over 500 million copies. The audio version, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, appeared in well over 75 peer-reviewed scientific journals. I could go on and on. So the credentials are there for this man. And this is a chance where you and your loved ones, associates, people that you can help out, can get on this call and ask Dr. Wallach a question in person and with a follow-up. And the follow-ups are so important too. So if you have been on Dr. Wallach's protocol for a while and you want to jump back on the call, let us know your progress. That's what it's all about as well. So we're going to go across the Pacific now and go to Amy in California. Amy, if you want to unmute yourself and speak to Dr. Wallach, go ahead.
Hello?
Amy, you there? She's going for the unmute button. All right, we can always come back to Amy. Okay, we're going to get back to Amy soon. So we're going back over the Pacific, back to Australia. And we are going to go to Forrest. We're going to stop at New Zealand. Forrest, how are you going, mate? Good to see you.
Yes, sir. Forrest, how can we help you?
Not with
Nope.
There we go.
Had to wait for him to unmute me there, Jamal.
There we go.
Hey, Dr. Wallach.
Yes, sir. How can we help you?
When I grow up, I want to be just like you. Happy birthday. So,
Thank you.
I have a male, 45 years old. His height is 69 inches. His weight is 211 pounds. He has rheumatoid arthritis for years. He's had multiple cortisone shots, but recently he's had really chronic fatigue. He has taken at least one bone and joint pack in his life, Dr. Wallach, and will take the tangy, but I wanted to get on this call today with you just so he can hear this recording and hear straight from the incredible Dr. Wallach's mouth himself.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you, Forrest. Okay, well, first of all, rheumatoid arthritis is usually, the doctors will tell you that it's an autoimmune disease attacking your skeletal system, and you'll be with it with a life, and we can give you cortisone and prednisone, relieve some of the pain, but we can't make it go away. Well, you need to change doctors, because rheumatoid arthritis is two diseases. It's a simple nutritional deficiency arthritis, but it has a secondary infection with a bug called mycoplasma, okay, which gives off the RA factor. But there is an antibiotic called minocycline, like the bait fish minnows, minocycline. Minocycline will kill that mycoplasma, which causes rheumatoid arthritis. So he needs to get a prescription for the minocycline, a 6 to 8 week prescription, and take it for 6 to 8 weeks, okay? And that'll kill the bug. He also needs to, at 200 pounds, I want him to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose at breakfast and dinner time. I want him to get 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so he can take 3 with each meal. And they're designed, again, to support and promote maintenance, repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone breaks the bone itself, okay? And then he needs the glucogel, our glucogel capsules, 5 of those twice a day. That's going to help, again, rebuild cartilage and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue. And lastly, I would have him use our Fucoid Z, Okay, 3 of those twice a day, that's 2 bottles a month. And it's actually 8 or 9 different algae and seaweeds and stuff from the ocean that have all these trace minerals in there. That's going to help him with his immune system to help get rid of that RA. We also have a product called Killer Biotic, which kills bugs. He could take 3 of those twice a day as well. That's 2 bottles a month. But don't forget our hand sanitizer. Don't forget our colloidal silver, because our colloidal silver, 2 droppers full under the tongue, half hour before each meal, half hour before bedtime. And that dropper bottle will last him, I think, 2 weeks doing that. So he needs to get 2 of those dropper bottles a month of our colloidal silver, because it kills all kinds of bugs, including the mycoplasma bug, which causes rheumatoid arthritis. So you're going to come at that for 2 different directions. But it'll go away. I've had people with rheumatoid arthritis for 40 years, and in 40 days it's gone.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, Doc. Happy
Okay,
birthday.
God bless. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Forrest. We're going to go back to Amy. Amy, are you there? You can go and unmute.
Perfect.
Here we go.
I'm here. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm calling in behalf of Blanca, who's 5'3", 133 pounds, and she's 40 years old. She was born with having convulsions, but they went away after 5 years old. But after having her son, who's now 16, her convulsions came back, and the doctors say that she has dead worms in her brain, which are causing her to have these convulsions. So she's on medication, and she also suffers from gastritis.
Okay, now the doctor says she has worms in her brain?
Dead worms in her brain, yes.
Okay, well, that doctor needs to go to jail. Okay. Okay. Dead worms in her brain. That's a new one. I've heard a lot of things. Done 32,000 autopsies, but never seen worms in the brain. Okay. And so that just says to her, I don't know what you got here, so I'm going to blame it on worms in your brain, so I don't have to worry. I can sleep at night because I know it's not me. Okay. And so basically at 133 pounds, she needs to get rid of all the bad foods: no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat bran, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. She also needs to take our de-stress capsules. Go ahead and take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. All right. I want her to take our Fucoid Z capsules, 3 of those twice a day. That's going to give her these weird trace minerals. That's going to help a whole lot of things. I also want her to have our Ultimate Niacin Plus. She can have 1 of those twice a day. And again, those de-stress capsules are very important. 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month. I also want her to have our Synaptive. She can take 3 of those twice a day. It gives the brain the nutrition so the brain can make the chemicals required for the brain cells to talk to each other. So they're all working in systematic rhythm. Okay. But I also want her to eat 3 eggs twice a day. 3 eggs twice a day. 75% of the brain weight is cholesterol. 75% of the brain weight is cholesterol. So I want her to eat 3 eggs twice a day. And she needs to cook them soft-boiled, soft yolks, okay? She can have soft scrambled eggs in butter. Hard-boiled eggs won't count. And fried eggs will cause cancer. So they got to be soft-boiled, soft-poached, or soft scrambled in butter, 3 twice a day. Okay. That's in addition to everything else she has for breakfast. But no gluten. She can have rice. She can have sweet potatoes, right? Okay. She can have gluten-free yogurt, but she cannot have pancakes and waffles and things like that. She can have gluten-free pizza for breakfast. I do 3 days a week. And the crust in the gluten-free pizza is made from cauliflower and also rice flour. No wheat flour pizzas, okay?
Yes.
So, and then, get in touch with us every, couple of weeks. Let us know how she's doing, because the worms will go away pretty quick.
Very good. Thank you, Dr. Wallach, and happy birthday.
Okay. Thank you, Amy. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Amy, and great to have callers from all over the world as well. And thanks for putting all those that information in the chat box, because I know that you've got the correct information for Dr. Wallach. And I do ask on behalf of people, but it's best when they are on the call, because as you can see, Dr. Wallach also asks extra questions as well. We are going to go to Gracie now from Melbourne. Gracie, if you would like to unmute yourself, and you can.
Right, thanks. Thanks, Jamel. Happy birthday, Dr. Wallach.
Well, thank you, Gracie. How can we help you?
Thank you. I'm calling on behalf of my friend's mother, who was born in Italy, and she's 72 years of age. She is 5'2" and about 150 pounds. She has osteoporosis in her hips and she requires 2 hip replacements. She has carpal tunnel in her right wrist and she has cramps in her legs and under her feet. She's had depression from the age of 30 and she has medication for that, of course. And she also has asthma and insomnia. She's on a heavy duty painkiller, which is called Lyrica medication. And just wondering what she could do, what we can do to help her.
Okay, well, the doctors again have missed this by 1,000 miles. Okay, she has osteoporosis of her hips, but she doesn't need a double hip replacement. Okay, she should try for 90 days. I mean, unless the bones are just totally disappeared, there's no bones left at all. Okay, but if the bones are there and the cartilage is gone, okay, and the osteoporosis is you're just losing minerals out of her bones, then this is all repairable, okay, and replaceable. So she needs to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bran, rye, oats, no sugar, that kind of stuff, no carbonated drinks. She can use our sports drink Rebound for energy because she has depression and energy problems, or Rebound. Then I want her to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, the full dose of everything twice a day. I want her to get our MSM, 2 bottles of our MSM because she's got some serious problems here. So I want her to get 3 of our MSM tablets at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So it'll require 2 bottles a month because they're big bottles. And they will support and promote maintenance, repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone makes your bone itself. And then includes the carpal tunnel thing, which is a wrist thing. Usually the skull is squeezing, the spinal cord is just coming out of the back of the skull, and that's causing the peripheral neuropathies in the arms and the wrists and the hands and fingers and so forth. Just like when when you have a low back problem, you get these kind of problems in your feet and ankles and legs and so on. Same principle. Okay. So I also want her to have our glucogel. She needs to take 5 of those twice a day. It's 2 bottles a month. And I would also have her take the Fucoid Z capsules, take 3 of those twice a day. And they're going to give all these really weird trace minerals, good for the bone marrow, good for, again, cartilage and ligaments and tendons. And let's see here. I think that covers just about everything. And because she has depression, which I can imagine why after having all this stuff for so long in her life. She's 72, you say. The odds are she has osteoporosis of the skull. I do want her to have 3 eggs twice a day, soft yolks, not fried, not hard boiled, but soft boiled, soft poached, soft scrambled in butter. But I also would like her to have the, let's see here, cover. I don't know. I think we covered it all. Let's just go with that and have her, you guys call every couple of weeks and give us a progress report or lack of progress report on your friend, and we'll walk her through this. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Wallach, my aunt, with the progress report, my aunt has been on the heart and brain pack for about a week now, and she's having trouble digesting the MSM. It keeps coming up and she brings it up. Why do you think that is? And should she have a break from it? Yeah.
Okay, stop. Now the MSM, you're talking about the tablets, and they just pop up full tablets?
Yes, she's finding that they're getting stuck in because she has Barrett's and achalasia and hernia. So she's finding that they get
That's
stuck.
very easy.
Yeah.
What she needs to do is just grind those tablets up into a powder and put them in some applesauce.
Yeah, great idea.
Treat her stomach like a little kid that doesn't want to eat tablets. Just grind it up into a powder. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much. We are going to go now to Vesna, if I pronounce your name correctly, let me know, and let us know where you're from there.
I live in Mildura, northwest of Melbourne, 540 k's away from Melbourne. Hi, Dr.
Okay, I
Joel
apologize.
Wallach.
Hi, I apologize. I didn't get the name.
Vesna? Vesna.
Visna?
Vesna.
Yeah.
Visna. Okay. It sounds like it's from India.
Slavic. Serbia.
Slavic. Okay. Okay. Serbia. Okay.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Dr. Joel Wallach, I'm 55 years old. I'm about 120 pounds. I'm 156 centimeters tall, reasonably healthy and lots of energy, obviously because I've been taking your products for the last 2 years. I'm on the Healthy Body Start Pack and I take that every day vigilantly. My major issue is I keep breaking out in cold sores, herpes simplex, and also some genital herpes as well occasionally. I was treated with some Ciclovir, but it sort of seems to just reduce it, but it doesn't stop it coming.
Okay.
And
okay.
The other thing is I had shingles last year, but it was a very, very mild dose. So I only had about 4 spots on my body.
Okay. Okay. Well, shingles and herpes are kind of cousins. They're both bugs. Okay. And so this means that your immune system is down. So you really, really need to work on yourself, and everybody in the household has got to be away from all the bad foods to maximize absorption and nutrition. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, rye, and oats. You can't have one cheat meal a month. Okay. You cannot be cooking gluten for other people because you're going to get cross-contaminated in the kitchen, the laundry, and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Nobody in the household can be eating gluten, including the dog and the cat and the bird and the fish and renters and so on. Okay.
Yep.
Then at 120 pounds, you said 120 pounds?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Then I want you to have one healthy brain and heart pack. I want you to kind of go up a little bit to a bigger hammer.
Yep.
Okay. One healthy brain and heart pack. I want you to get another bottle of our selenium. One bottle of our selenium comes in that healthy brain and heart pack. Yep. I want you to get another bottle of our selenium, not selenium from the grocery store. Ours has these 5 cofactors in there, which is what you're looking for. Okay. So I want you to take 3 of those selenium at breakfast and 3 at dinner time. And I also want you to have our MSM, get 1 bottle a month of the MSM, so you take 3 of those twice a day. Yep. That'll support and promote maintenance, repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, ratio, bone, and cell. I also want you to take our killer biotic, which really supports your immune system, go and kill bugs. So I want you to take 3 of the killer biotic twice a day. Okay. And then I want you to use, on top of these herpes and shingles and stuff, use our hand sanitizer, okay?
Yep.
2 or 3 times a day. And then also 4 times a day, half hour before each meal and a half hour before bed, I want you to put 2 droppers full of our colloidal silver under your tongue. And okay. And so one of those bottles will last you 2 weeks doing that. So you need to get 2 bottles a month of our colloidal silver, and it kills bugs. It kills all the bugs.
Okay.
It was the antibiotic of the day for thousands of years, until 1938, I think it was, when they came out with penicillin, and doctors preferred penicillin. Penicillin doesn't kill as many bugs as colloidal silver does, but you have to go see them and get a prescription, and they get an office call out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas you can go to any drugstore, okay, and get colloidal silver without a prescription. So that's why they moved over to the penicillin instead of colloidal silver. We like colloidal silver because it kills everything. And it has no alcohol in it, so it doesn't burn or anything like that. And I've been doing it for 25 years. And so today's my birthday. I'm 82 years old today. And most people think I'm in my 50s. I don't believe I act or look like I'm 82 years old.
No, not at all.
And so
that's amazing.
yeah. But see, I've been taking the 90 essential nutrients and gluten-free for also today. It's 74 years.
Wow.
Okay, so that's why, because I've been taking the 90 essential nutrients for 74 years. I've been gluten-free for 74 years. I figured it out when I was just before I was 9 years old.
Incredible. You are incredible.
Okay, well, let's hear from you every couple of weeks.
Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, I'm very keen, and I'll definitely get started on that program. And big kiss to you. Happy birthday.
Woo!
It's been my dream to talk to you. So yeah, woohoo for me.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Vesna. Thank you very much. We are going to go to Caroline Thomas. If you want to know, let us know where you're from and go ahead.
Hi, thanks, Jamel. Thanks, Doc, as well. Lovely to see you. Happy birthday. Thanks for working on your birthday. So I have someone in Queensland. She's 30 years old, 167 centimetres, weighs 125 pounds. She has fibromyalgia. Now she's been taking the products for about a year. She's removed gluten from her diet. She's currently taking the 90 with the OsteoFX liquid. She's got the 3 EFA plus, 4 Prohoba Omega, 6 selenium and extra minerals. And she's also just started taking the root beer belly. She has lots of joint pain and feels exhausted most of the time. And she's also concerned she's losing a bit of weight. And I just want to know if there's anything we need to modify.
Yes. Okay. Number one, when she's taking all that kind of supplements and she still has joint pain, that means she's not absorbing the nutrients. That means she's eating gluten. Okay. She's got to get rid of gluten. No wheat, no barley, rye, and oats. No wheat, no barley, rye, and oats. No wheat, no barley, rye, and oats. There are no such things as gluten-free oats. The gluten in oats is called gliadin, but it's still gluten. Just like if you shoot yourself in the head with a projectile, will it kill you just like a bullet? Yeah, and it doesn't matter whether you call it a bullet or a projectile. If you shoot yourself in the head, it's going to kill you. If you eat wheat, barley, rye, or oats, it damages your intestines, so you cannot absorb nutrition. Okay, so everybody in the household, she cannot be cooking for anybody else. She cannot work in a restaurant, and particularly in the kitchen and all that kind of stuff, because she'll be contaminated with all this gluten stuff. Then I want her to take our MSM. She needs to have 3 of those 3 times a day. That's 2 bottles a month of our MSM. That'll deal with the muscles, the tendons and ligaments and connective tissue and cartilage and so forth and bones. And for joint pain, she can use our CM cream. Okay, mix it up real good because it tends to settle overnight and the water comes to the top and people, they dip a little bit of cotton ball in there and they put it on and say, well, I used it, it didn't work. Well, that's because you didn't stir it up. You got to stir it up every morning because the cream settles to the bottom. Well, that's where the medicine is in the cream. So you got to stir it up and then take the properly, what should I say, the properly mixed CM cream, put that on her knees or shoulders or ankles or wrists or elbows, wherever she got pain. And in 2 or 3 minutes or so, she'll have 2 or 3 hours of pain relief. But if she does everything correctly here, within a month, she should be totally free of pain and she won't even need the pain relievers. Okay. But she's got to stay on the program forever. How long do you need oxygen? Forever. How long do you need water? Forever. How long do you need the 90 essential nutrients? Forever. How long do you need to avoid the bad stuff? Forever. Okay. And so this is easy stuff, but somehow she's getting gluten somewhere. Okay. And I had one guy who bet me. I said, will you give me $100 for every source of gluten I found in your house? He says, yes. He says, when do you want to come over? I said, we're going over there right now together because you're not going to go home and clean out your pantry. No. We're going home right now. He had to pay me $1,000 because I found 10 sources of gluten in his cupboard. And he was so sure he didn't have any gluten, he was prepared to pay me $100 for every source that I found. But he was a good guy because he paid off.
Fantastic. Thank you. Appreciate that very much.
Okay.
Thanks, Caroline. I am going to go to a new caller now. And just for everybody that's putting their questions in the chat box, just let me know what your Zoom name is too, so I know how to announce you, because if your name's different to what your Zoom name is, it's just harder for me to find you. So we're going to go to James Kingston now. James, if you want to let us know where you're from, go ahead, unmute yourself and you can speak to Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Hello.
I am from New Zealand. I'm 34 years old, 169 pounds and 70 inches tall. I suffer from autoimmunity, and I also have desmoid fibromyalgia.
Okay, stop. Well, autoimmune stuff. How does that mean? Do you have like lupus or psoriatic arthritis or rheumatoid arthritis? What do you got?
So I have psoriasis. I also have desmoid fibromatosis in the abdomen, which I've had 3 surgeries for. And I also have a lesion in my liver.
Okay. Yeah, none of this is autoimmune. None of it's genetic. Okay. So what I want you to do, James, is, and you're probably doing a lot of this, but I want you to really look at your cupboard and look at your diet. What kind of work do you do?
I work for myself, invest in property, share market and that, so I'm pretty flexible.
Okay, so you don't work in a kitchen and cook meal. Okay.
No.
Or you don't work in a bakery or anything like that, right?
Nothing like that, no.
Okay. So no fried foods, no processed meats, no salami, pastrami, pepperoni, ham, bacon. Even nitrate-free bacon has 8 other chemicals in it, so you can't even have nitrate-free bacon. No processed meats, no oils of any kind, that means you have to use like apple cider vinegar on your salads, or lemon juice or lime juice. You cannot put just wishbone salad dressings on there because it has all the oil in it. Okay. You cannot have any gluten, no wheat, no barley, rye, and oats, Okay, you can have gluten-free pizza. You can have rice, you can have sweet potatoes, you can have that kind of stuff, and corn, and maize, corn. But you cannot have wheat, barley, rye, and oats in any way, shape, or form. You can have New Zealand beer made from rice. You can have red wine, okay, but you cannot have beer made from wheat, barley, rye, and oats, or whiskey made from wheat, barley, rye, and oats. And 169 pounds, I want you to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. You have to step up a little bit. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, the full dose, everything twice a day. I want you to get 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so you can take 3 with each meal, and they will support and promote maintenance, repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone, makes the bone itself, plus the liver, okay? And then I also want you to take our de-stress capsules, take 3 of those twice a day, that's 2 bottles a month. And I also want you to take our, let's see here, oh, I want you to take our Fucoid Z capsules. You can take 3 of those twice a day. Give you those weird trace minerals, okay, from the ocean, and take 3 of those capsules twice a day. That's the Fucoid Z. Then call us every couple of weeks, because you're going to have a great testimony. You do not have any autoimmune disease. That's nonsense. There are no such things. Okay, when doctors don't know what to do for you, they say, well, your body's attacking itself. That way they go home and sleep at night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Look forward to hearing from you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks, Jane.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
My mother got really sick quite a few years ago, and she was in hospital for about 3 months.
Right.
And I brought the tangy tangerine into my mum, and the doctors took it off her, and they said, oh, that's going to interfere with the medication. Gave a few other reasons why they didn't want her to have it. I think it's because they didn't understand what the vitamins and the supplements were. Now, I'm not a doctor, but this is just
well, why would they want her to get better?
Yeah. Well, fortunately enough, she did get out of hospital 3 months later. I've got my mother on the basically the bone and joint pack in tablet form twice a day, which is something my mother refuses to have the drink. So we do have the equivalent to that in tablet form as well.
Was it Pro Joint FX?
And that's right. And my father's on the same thing twice a day, and they're operating a business working 6 days a week. And nearly 80 years old, getting up at 5:30 in the morning, finishing at 5 in the evening. And, I would like to say thank you to Doc for that. And that was it's really persistence. And if you are talking to friends, loved ones, family, you're kind of demonstrating what you're doing by taking the products and sharing a bit about your story. And if you're genuine, people will see what you're doing. And people that don't want to listen to what your Dr. Wallach has to say, they're not going to do that anyway. So you'll find enough people, and then you're helping them get to where they want to be.
Well, I had to figure out, Jamel, that even God can't get everybody to do everything right. So if God has trouble getting everybody to do everything right, I don't feel bad that I missed a few, because, we try hard. We give them all the information, and there's some that just not going to do it. And they're the ones who are going to fail and do badly. We wish them well, but they're making bad decisions.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to comment then, because it's very important, especially if you are walking people through a protocol. Sandy Ellsberg is one of my uplines. She's one of the most successful network marketers.
Oh, she's a lovely lady.
In the world, yeah. And she describes our role as distributors as servant leadership. So you're really helping people get to where they need to be. We got a couple more minutes to go. I'm going to go to Kai, and then Tracy wants to say a few words, but I want to go to Kai because she's first time caller. Unmute yourself, let us know where you're from, and go ahead, Kai.
Hello.
Hi there. Happy birthday.
Thank you. How can we help you?
Well, as Jamel said, I am actually a first time caller, and I'm very, very excited to be on this
How old are
journey.
you?
But I'm from Melbourne. I'm 46.
Okay. How much do you weigh?
I suffered for one morning over 200 pounds.
Okay. And so what's your problem?
I am 5'5". I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. One morning I just woke up and was sick. And I've just really, really struggled with the pain and the fatigue. And I'm learning a lot just from listening to this.
Now, two other questions. Is this your normal hair color, or are you coloring your hair?
It's colored, yeah.
Okay, so you do have some white or gray or silver hair.
My hair is completely transparent, all of it.
Okay.
It's white.
What about?
It's
okay. Okay. What about? Let's see here. Do you have any varicose veins in your legs or spider veins in your legs?
No.
Okay. All right. Do you have any skin problems? Any eczema, psoriasis, dermatitis? None of that kind of stuff. Have any bowel problems? Constipation, diarrhea?
No.
Okay. What about lung stuff? Any asthma or bronchitis?
I have severe IBS.
Oh, well, that's an intestinal problem, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome.
Yeah.
You do have IBS. Okay. Yeah, you have a gluten problem. That's your problem. You have a gluten problem. So everybody in your household.
I'm starting to figure that out.
Yeah. No, you got to get, if you have like a 3-month supply of gluten in the house, don't say, well, we'll just eat this and, we won't buy anymore. No, you want to box it up and give it to your doctor. Give it to your doctor. Okay. It's kind of like, remember that old 007 movie, To Russia with Love? So you want to give this to your doctor with love. Say, I have IBS. I can't have gluten anymore. So it's too wonderful. And so I don't want to throw it away. So because I love you so much, I'm going to give it to you. Okay. And so then no gluten, no wheat, no butter, rye, oats, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils of any kind, no carbonated drinks, even the diet ones. Then let's see, you said you weighed 100 and 200 pounds, right?
Yeah.
200 pounds. Okay. So I want you to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs on full dose twice a day. I want you to get 2 bottles a month of the MSM. So you can take 3 with each meal. Okay. That's going to support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, bone itself, skin, intestinal walls, all that kind of stuff. Then I also want you to take one of our keto caramel bars, 1 meal a day. Okay. Doesn't have to be the same meal every day, but 1 meal a day. Use one of our keto bars. And then, of course, remember, you're going to be getting rid of the pancakes and the waffles and the spaghetti and chicken noodle soup and all that kind of stuff. You can have chicken rice soup, but you can't have chicken noodle soup. Okay. And I have dessert every day, which is 1/3 of a pint of gluten-free ice cream. You can get gluten-free ice cream. Dairy is good for you. What's the first food the newborn whale, elephant, giraffe, human being, sheep, dog, cat, bird, fish? What's the first thing that all mammal vertebrates eat? Milk. Okay. Milk is the best food in the world. Okay. And so, but you'll lose a 1/2 pound to 2 pounds a day. Don't forget 1 meal a day. And after about a month or two, go to 2 meals a day for just 2 days out of the week. And so 5 days a week, you're still doing only 1 meal, and you'll speed up the weight loss. And I take one of those. I only weigh 142, and I have one of those keto bars maybe 2 or 3 times a week as a quick lunchtime snack. Okay, as opposed to trying to do something else, I just have one of those keto bars for a lunchtime snack. The rest of the time, I just eat breakfast and dinner. And for a snack, I'll have some of those little Baby Bell cheeses kind of thing with a Rebound or sports drink. And I've been gluten-free for 74 years, and I've been taking the 90 Essential Nutrients for 74 years. I'm 82 today and ready to kick butt. So you're going to have a great story, Kai. You're going to have a great story because everything you've got is secondary nutritional deficiencies to gluten. Get rid of the gluten, you take your 90, and you're going to be a new woman very quickly. So be prepared, because everybody's going to say, "What are you doing? You've changed. you've lost so much weight and you're doing so many things and you're smarter and you're sharper. Okay, and so people are going to notice it. You don't have to tell them; they're going to notice that things are getting better.
I'm so excited for that. Thank you so much.
Okay, God bless.
Thank you.
Look forward to hearing from you.
I want to say happy birthday again to Dr. Wallach. We're at the end of the hour. Gracie, you wanted to say a couple of words. Go ahead, Gracie.
Yes, absolutely, quickly. And again, thank you for joining us. I wanted to highlight for all new customers in the month of June that spend more than $165 Australian or $172.50 New Zealand, that the shipping is free, but the only way you can offer free shipping is you have to do 2 steps. You as a distributor need to register at promotions.youngevity.com that you want to be part of the 300 club so you can get in for prizes, but you also have to register for our survey that would have been emailed or is on our Facebook page to give you the code to be able to offer. And the reason we're doing that is we want to help people first time join the 300 club. And to do that, all you have to do is have 3 new customers at 300 QV. And why we want to do that for you is because we want to reward you and perk you. We have Youngevity socks for you. We're going to perk you in your July order. And for those of you that are distributors, if you go out there and beat your personal best and make June that month, we want to perk you as well. So if after that you don't know what I'm talking about, please message me how we can get you the code on the free shipping for your customers. Other than that, you guys have a fantastic day. And Doc, you have the best day ever and happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you much, Gracie. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, and everybody.
Happy
birthday, Dr. Wallach.
Happy birthday.
Win, I think you got sparklers.
Happy birthday, Doc.
Your sparklers up there.
Happy birthday.
Hey, where are you? Oh, fantastic. Continue. So we got this happening and we got people just joining in nonstop now. So this is awesome. So we're up to 20 guests. So I hope everybody can see me. And how's the volume? Everything good? Good to go. Well, why don't we get started? Because 100% of the people here that wanted to be here on time are on time and here. So I really want to congratulate you guys first and foremost for making it happen. Today's going to be an extra special day. The fact that it's Doc's birthday, which is even more special, and that he's like 82 years old and he looks like a teenager still. And we are all here because we are lovers and believers in the Doc Wallach message, and we are moving mountains by sharing our voice. And so today I wanted to bring in this extra hour because I have been seeing some I guess some action happening, and it's kind of like a freight train going, and it's moving real fast. And I've been paying attention to the movers and shakers in Youngevity, especially in 2021. And so what I recognized is what is improving, what are they doing differently, what is the message, and how are they running their business. And the big thing that I could not deny that is going on is people that have been joining the certified holistic health coaching course that Paul Croto and Sharon Morley have put together and doing an amazing job. And I believe it's been going on for over a year, if not 18 months now. Please correct me if I'm wrong there, but that's when I took notice and started noticing distributors taking the course and just really noticing the improvement in their business. I recently was also on a call on the Fab to Fabulous that Sharon Morley put together with our fantastic Michelle Wallach and Annalise Brown, Louise Hayes, Louise Adrian, as well as some other fantastic speakers. And it was so good. And even there was a speaker, her name was Jennifer Saltzman, I believe is her name. And her testimony totally, you know how we always have that one testimony that really makes the difference to take action. And I know there's loads of different, opportunities that we have and we can remember. But when she talked about how long she was in the business for, and we're looking at double digits of years, and how this course, her business has since doubled, and what she is doing, the action she is taking. So I figured it is something that, myself being with Youngevity corporate, I'm part of the sales and field development down under, head of sales here. And I just want to do whatever it takes. So whatever's working, I want to share, and I want to be a soundboard for that. And so I decided to take the course myself. And in taking that course, recognizing the fantastic system Paul and Sheryl has put together, just the voice, the message that is all about Doc Wallach, the 2 replicated websites that they've put that with the health evaluation quiz, as well as the platform to be able to have information to share, especially having the Doc Wallach Dead Doctors Don't Lie at your fingertips, the evaluation at your fingertips, some of the best interviews at your fingertips, all in one place in one platform. And I just thought this is super simple, super easy. And I've enjoyed the course, and I'm on the 8th unit. So it's what I do. It's when I see something fantastic, I love to share it. So I thought I would bring that an hour before to kind of showcase a bit of things that I think are amazing. I'm also a big fan of distributors out there that are doing a great job and doing an amazing opportunity sharing Doc's message. And there's a growing, I guess, gentlemen amongst the Youngevity world that are young, and they're in the front lines. That when I talk about in the front lines, they're distributors that are on a daily basis sharing the Doc Wallach message, growing their business, creating their own personal branding. And I came across this fantastic gentleman, and his name is Travis Martin. And Travis Martin has branded himself as the Mineral Mentor. He's got an Instagram page. If you haven't seen it, go and follow and find it. It's called Mineral Mentor. I'm sure he'll give you the exact details on there. But what he's done is he's taken so many great snippets of Doc Wallach and different topics and issues and different ways of supporting it. And he's created it in very snappable and shareable video content. And so his content's been fantastic. I have had the opportunity to do some work with him, with the distributor, somebody who's interested in the business down here. I just loved the authenticness he has, the real value system he has as a man and as a husband, and how he's sharing the message. So I know he's making a difference out there, and I thought, I want the people down under to come and hear what this man has to say. What is he doing? So I thought I'd interview him, and I asked him if he'd join us, and he said yes. So if we could have the amazing Travis, terrific Travis, where are you?
How's it going?
Yes, I'm wonderful.
That was the best
Thank
intro
you.
I've ever received in my life. Thank you so much.
Oh my God. Well, I could have kept going and going, but you know, it's about you now. So I wanted to bring you on, and I know the way you're going to speak and share your message is going to be even more empowering. So first of all, I want to say thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for talking to me. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. And you know, we really need to thank Tom, Tom Chanel, because he's the one that, he's the connector, he's the one that contacted me and you, and we did a 3-way call. And so that's kind of how our journeys come together. So again, I love what you're doing. So first of all, Travis, let's take the next few minutes and talk about you, and tell the Youngevity Down Under a little bit about you, and then we'll ask some more questions.
Yeah, of course. So my name's Travis Martin. If you can't tell, I'm American. I grew up in Texas. And I went to college in Las Vegas. If you've ever, you've probably heard of it. It's a bad place. Don't go there. But I am married now. I'm a holistic health coach certified through Paul Croto. Paul, I loved your program. I did it pretty soon after you let it out, and it's been huge. I'm a heart transplant recipient, and I found Dr. Wallach and Youngevity about 3.5 years ago, and absolutely fell in love with him and the protocols and the way that he is just like blunt force trauma about, how the realness of what it takes to be healthy. And I couldn't get enough of it. So I've really dug into my business in the last 1.5 years. And this is pretty much what I do. I also work for a nonprofit. So everything I do is focused on giving back and educating and teaching. But stuff like this, man, this makes my heart happy getting to talk to people like this. So.
Well, this is exactly why we invited you, for all of those reasons. So like when you got into Youngevity, like as you shared, and you have a mission to, when do you think Youngevity actually got into you? We all can get into something, but when it gets into you, you become a force to reckon with. And obviously in the last 18 months, that's what you've been doing. So what were those moments? What was the deciding, thing that happened for you?
You know, I think it took a while, to be fair. I loved the information, but it wasn't grasping me and like pulling me in yet. I didn't feel consumed by it. And it was when I went to my second convention and I saw Dr. Wallach speak. And at the time I was still plant-based, still vegetarian, still not eating butter or eggs. I was not gluten-free at all. And that second convention, when I got to see him speak, was absolutely life-changing. I came back and I switched everything I was doing. I got consistent on the protocol. I started Mineral Mentor. And ever since then, it's been an incredible ride since then, for sure.
Fantastic. So tell us about Mineral Mentor. Like, I want to know, I want to share with the people, because I think it's actually a good tool. You know, it's a tool to share with people. I love how you've branded yourself. And, you know, like, tell us more about it.
Yeah. So of course I was trying to take Dr. Wallach to social media. He doesn't exist there very much. There are a handful of other pages, the Youngevity page and whatnot, that post about him, but there wasn't a place that was short, concise information about Dr. Wallach or what Dr. Wallach taught. Because as most of you probably know, you can watch Dead Doctors Don't Lie or any of his lectures, and you'll get stuck in these 3-hour presentations and you may not find what you were looking for. And that was frustrating me. So I wanted to find a way to create a space where people could find Dr. Wallach and find what they needed from Dr. Wallach, because Dr. Wallach is for everyone and everything we have is for literally everyone. So I wanted to make a place where I could share my own voice through Dr. Wallach. And what it's turned into, which I did not expect this, is that most of our following is already Youngevity Nation. It's already people like you guys that are following us because you realize that the content makes sense and is so shareable. It's these bite-sized pieces. We try to keep everything under a minute. And I cut out all the humming and hawing and how he double speaks sometimes just to make it concise so that you guys can use it to grow your business without having to send an hour-long video or a 2-hour-long video. You can make it in a split second. Someone can watch what you send them.
Fantastic.
So that's where it's gone.
So yeah, and I, like I said, I'm looking at what tools, you know, that are the easy things to get people hooked in, you know, like it's a process, it's a massaging, or it's like fishing, you give a little hook and you pull it in a little bit hook. And so I think it's really good as part of that, you know, one of those steps, and then get them into a bigger commitment of listening to something longer, like the Dead Doctors Don't Lie, and, you know, just kind of that journey in there. So, which is really good. So then you mentioned that you took the certified holistic course, and do you like being able to say that you're a certified holistic coach now?
I think it's great. Yeah, it definitely brings more, I guess, weight to your position. People seem to trust you. One of the things Sheryl talked about early on in the course, which you'll see when you take it, is how she's been doing this for 25 years, but because she didn't have a title, people wouldn't really listen to her all the way. But now because there's this title behind it, they go, oh, this person took a class, maybe I can listen to them a little bit more. So it gives you that energy, that posture, because you have a title now, where you didn't before. And the class is incredible. I can, you know, kind of speak on that a little bit, but the information and the knowledge that I got from this class is second to none. I mean, if you have people with budget problems or location problems because they can't get certain products, this course teaches you everything from every category disease and how to create a tier system to help that person. And it's made a huge difference in my confidence and my ability to help people, which is what we're here for.
Fantastic. And, you know, and I know confidence is a really big thing for people, especially in this business. You know, we know it takes courage to get started and courage to make those decisions. And something I really got out of the course is the 8 pieces of the puzzle to success. And it's in Unit 5. It's the first one before they do the mindset. And I couldn't believe, like, to me, even as a coach doing what I do, that how we can take each piece of the puzzle and work on that each piece at a time, because you're going to have a few of those pieces naturally, but we need to nurture ourselves to be able to have the other pieces of the puzzle. So in saying that, what piece of the puzzle did you find that you had to work on yourself personally? I know that wasn't in our questions.
Yeah, that's a good question. So I have to say I did the class over a year ago, so I'm trying to remember what all the
let me help you
pieces were. I
because
mean, yeah,
that's okay. Let me help you, because the big thing I noticed in there, obviously the first piece, is making the decision, I can do this. And
Mhm.
there was a piece in there was about your story that you tell yourself. And then there's like
Right.
your perfect story. And to me, it sounds like from where you were a year ago to where you are now, you've been working on that perfect story.
Right. And, I think the biggest thing was getting rid of limiting beliefs. And I think that's the mindset thing that made the biggest difference in that class. I personally, my family has always thought I was crazy for doing this. No one really understands what I'm doing or the industry or Dr. Wallach, to be fair. And so I had this limiting belief that if my parents and my family don't believe me, then why should I take this forward? And why should I share it with other people? And that was really holding me back, and going through that and working on that limiting belief was probably the biggest breakthrough, besides for learning the specifics of the categories of diseases.
Brilliant, brilliant. So tell me, what did you do to what did you do to get through that breakthrough? Like, what were the things you did specifically?
I think it was the thing that it took was actually just having the conversations more, because once you have the title, which sounds, I don't know, pretentious in a way, it's not. Once you have that title and you have those conversations, you can see the way people look at you, and you understand that you really do know a lot more than the person that you're sitting across from. You really can help change someone's life based on what you know. And just because someone that's close to you or someone that loves you or saw you grow up and pick your nose doesn't trust what you're saying doesn't mean that you're not valuable. And it took just being confident after learning that was what was holding me back to break through that.
Good for you. Well, that's very inspiring. And by sharing this, and this is what's going to empower other people, is how you overcame these things, is probably the biggest thing and lesson that you can share with people. So really appreciate that. So with people on this call right now, you've been so open and gracious on sharing of yourself. What, I guess, tips would you give them moving forward from here? Some have already taken the course. Some don't even maybe know about the course. Some have been sitting on the fence about the course, or just in Youngevity in general, and just going out there and being you. What advice and tips would you give?
So with the course, I'll start with that. Definitely do it, but take a ton of notes. Write everything down. I refer back to my spiral that has the different levels and categories of diseases and tiers, which you'll understand when you take the course, that I refer back to all the time because I don't remember everything. But when I see those notes, it triggers that response. So definitely take the course and definitely take notes, because it'll be worth it to not have to go back through the videos and everything. The other thing about Youngevity is just get your story. Understand your story, know how to share your story. Ever since I learned how to just share the Do You See You and Youngevity story, things have been completely different and way easier, because all people really care about is how, what we can do to help them. They don't care about the science and all that other stuff. All they care about is how your story can help them with their story.
And as they say, facts tell, stories sell.
Right.
Okay, so tell us how we can follow you and what you're doing.
Yeah.
And tell us what you do with Doc already on your which is
So,
our Wednesday mornings.
Right. So Dr. Wallach, we do it's Tuesday evenings at 3:30 Pacific time in America. So Gracie, you can do the math.
8 a.m. Sydney time or 10 a.m. New Zealand time on Wednesday.
Okay, yeah. So 3:30. So it would be 8:30 or 10:30, right?
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So the website link to that is just mineralmentor.info, and that'll take you straight to the Zoom link every single week. It does not change. For Mineral Mentor, it's just one word on YouTube and on Instagram. You can use any of my content, any of our videos shared anytime. We also are taking all of the lectures that we can find on YouTube and trying to consolidate them into one YouTube channel, so you have everything you need in one place. So if you follow us, use our stuff as much as you need. We try to post every single day and make sure that there's good stuff coming out. And feel free to reach out to me too. Gracie can give out, I have WhatsApp, and if you want to text me on there, my number is 210-852-1352. And if you ever need any questions asked by Doc, if you ever need anything content-wise, ask me, because I could probably use it as well, and I'll make it for you.
Oh, you are amazing. We'll get somebody to put that in the chat there. But I'm just going to say, there's a word I'm going to add to that mineral mentor. You're going to be a millionaire mineral mentor. You keep doing what you're doing.
I hope so.
You're a rock star. We love you. Thank you for being so open.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And
Yeah.
Paul, I know you're in here. Thank you for making that course, because you are changing lives, my friend.
Woohoo! Fantastic. Yes. Okay. Well, before we bring on the fabulous Paul Crotto and amazing Sheryl Morley, we have a few minutes. What I wanted to do is, I know there are some distributors from down under that have taken this course. And I just wanted to reach out to a couple of them. And just really quickly, I asked them in 30 seconds, 3 major nuggets that they would have gotten out of this course that they've taken themselves personally. Deb, I see you right on my camera. So Deb Flanagan, I am going to get you to go first. You have to unmute yourself, darling.
Yeah, I'm unmuted now.
Yes.
Oh, thank you for asking me. I think the product knowledge is a key thing. I felt like I was trying to learn product knowledge, but by going through the course last year at the beginning of 2020, I think it was, I can't remember. But by going through the course in every module, I started to become a lot more confident, like Travis said, about the products that we had, because we've got so many products and we've come out of cleaning products to so many products. We had like a handful of awesome products that did everything in Nature Direct. And now we're just confronted by this like thousands. And it was quite overwhelming and confusing for me. But when the course came up, I actually started it on the first one, but took to the end of the second one to finish it. So it sort of took me longer than most. But by the time I finished, I did, like Travis said, you feel more confident. You've got a name, a title that you can put on that people actually listen to. My parents, my family, they're the hardest ones. Just skip over them, because they just don't believe in you as much as people that you don't know. It's great for 300 Club, because if you send out evaluations, then they're going to get something back. You can actually help them, and then it helps you with your 300 Club. What I love is the interviews. Like one that really stuck, and I didn't know anything about, was Brett, the guy from Good Herbs. He was awesome. I loved him, and I've gone back and watched him. Fred Van Loo. They're people that we don't actually know much about, but by doing the course, we found out so much more.
Which are the brand ambassadors for a lot of the products.
Yes, yes. And it just that was one of the hugest things for me. And I love the idea that Travis is actually doing little thing. I'm going to go have a look at that.
You're gonna love it.
And I just think the thing is, with you send out the survey, it makes you follow up with people. So I tend to sort of follow up probably is something that I've always in my whole life should concentrate more on, because you're so busy doing other things. But it sort of tends to make you follow up and talk to people about it. So yeah, so I think it's been fabulous for me. Thank you.
Well, Deb, as you know, I'm a big fan of yours, and I've been following and working with you for over the past couple of years. And in the last year, it's especially in the last 6 months, I have seen the difference in your confidence and how you speak, and just kind of how you ooze that without even opening your mouth. So that's the difference I have seen in you. So I want to say thank you for sharing that with us here today. So wonderful. The other person I wanted to ask was Carolyn Thomas. She's done the course. She's been branding herself as the Detox Society. She's really taken on this course as well. So Caroline, are you there? I saw the name in the slide panel. Darling, nice to see you. Thank you. Tell us, girlfriend, what are the nuggets that you've gotten from this, and what would make a difference to the people on this call?
Absolutely. Thanks, Tracy. So I wrote a couple of things down. So I just give you some bullet points. I did it in the course in the first wave, and it was just, yeah, I was so pleased when Paul and Sheryl brought this out. It was just basically, I think, something that we'd all been waiting for, and really, really did appreciate that. So thanks, Paul and Sheryl. As Travis said, we really appreciate you guys. So credibility. I think Travis touched on this. It gives you, I know it shouldn't really matter, but it gives you a title. And I think titles matter when you're trying to help people with health. And they like to see, you know, your where you're coming from in that sense. The tools it gives you for the health evaluation. that's just been remarkable. It's definitely something that you can hang your business on. And as Deb said, it helps with that follow-up, and Paul and Sheryl, their after training has been amazing. So once you've done the course, if you continue watching their Zooms, they talk about business every Thursday, and they'll give you tips to how to work your business and the tools and the files and everything. It's been absolutely fantastic. It's definitely given me focus as well. So yeah, I know, as I say, I've obviously working with the detox, and that's my niche, I guess. I know that Louise Adrian spoke about this, and that's definitely become my niche, but it's given me that focus for my business. So yeah, I can't speak highly enough of it. I so needed to do this course, and it's just been fantastic.
Well, I just think you're doing a great job. Tell everybody how they can find you on Instagram and see what you're doing.
Okay, yeah, I'm on Instagram. I've just followed Travis, so thanks for that. That's great. And I'm the Detox Society on Instagram, and I've only just started on Instagram, so I'm sort of just getting used to that. And I'm also on Facebook as well. I have the Detox Society on Facebook as well. So that's where I am.
Well, you're brilliant there, darling. Thank you. Thank you. We'll see if we have more time for some more testimonies at the end of the call, but I had asked Paul and Sheryl to start at 11:30. So we just got a couple minutes here. So as I gear up for them, I also wanted to say just really quickly, you know, how you've branded yourself, the Detox Society, you got the Mineral Mentor. You know, there's just so many different areas of this business that you can become that specialist or hone in on. But there was one in there that we were talking about, more people trying to focus on children's health. And I thought we need some more children's health heroes out there, you know, or pain management mentors out there, you know. So there's lots of different ways you can brand yourself and have that focus in that niche. We know we don't need to be the expert. We know we got Doc Wallach as the expert. We have an amazing team in the Youngevity world. We have Dr. Glidden, and now with the Travis's Facebook, our Instagram page, we just have so much more credibility to back us up. So, but the people in the house that I want to give huge credit to is what Paul and Sheryl have done. They've been amazing. I loved following and watching them before I even got into this course. And now it's just like, I haven't even had a personal one-on-one talk with them. We've had a few messages, but I already feel like they're my brother and sister. And so I just want to welcome you. Everybody knows them, loves them. And we're so grateful that you could join in. I know it's super late over there. So we're here, you guys. Sheryl, Paul, where are you? Welcome to the call, and thank you so much for sharing Down Under. And we want to be a part of you and everything you're doing.
Well, thank you so much for having us on. It's an honor, and we're just so blown away by all you've done in Australia. Gracie, you've been an amazing leader. I met you in, I think it was Dallas.
Oh yeah, it was in Colorado.
Dallas, San Diego. Yeah.
Yeah,
one of those. But you've been amazing all along, and I know we've been on a couple of these Zooms with you already, and I just love everything that's happening in Australia. Sheryl and I are dying to come over there. It is one of Sheryl, you've been there already, haven't you?
Yes, I've been there.
Sheryl goes everywhere without me. She just never takes me with you anyplace.
It's like my favorite place. I love to go there. I love all of you guys that are over there. I can hardly wait to come.
Well, we can't wait till we can make that happen. So, but how blessed are we to have Zoom and, you know, be able to connect like this. Like, this has really been the heart of still being able to grow a business. So there's no excuse. And, you know, thanks to your guys' program, this certainly got people through lockdowns and all that sort of stuff. And some of us are still in lockdown right now. Yeah, so we want to know. I brought a group of people here together. Some know about the program, some don't. So if you guys want to share what's going and what has happened since you guys started the program, that would be awesome.
Well, it's been incredible. I mean, you know, in the beginning, it was putting it together, and you know, just the whole thought of being with Dr. Wallach. Sheryl and I have been with him for 25 years now, and he always wanted to create an army of people. And when Sheryl and I were working with our people, we had developed something called Star School right before this. And Star School never really gained the traction that we really wanted. So we looked at, why is that? Why aren't people being more successful here at Youngevity? And the truth of it is, what we found out was people didn't know what Sheryl and I knew. you know, we got to spend a lot of time with Dr. Wallach on the road and at lunch and at breakfast and at dinner and, you know, and all these, Sheryl, how many hundreds of, you know, meetings have you gone to with Dr. Wallach and learned his message and how he answers questions and asks questions and all that. So the new person coming into Youngevity just doesn't know any of that. So it wasn't that they didn't want to be successful. They just didn't know how to be as good as Dr. Wallach. And Dr. Wallach, in his genius, has really made health super simple. So Sheryl and I took everything that he has taught us for 50 years and we worked with him and put this course together and built it on the four categories of health and made it super simple. And then we wanted to make it so that everyone was an authority. It wasn't just Dr. Wallach, but we truly built an army of people that were going out there now and felt empowered to do this themselves and not just rely on bringing someone to see Dr. Wallach at a meeting, which was impossible last year, but now to go out and be the expert themselves. Because we have people that have been, right, Sheryl, been here at Youngevity for 20 years that probably know more than Sheryl and I know because they've been with Doc for so long too, but just didn't put it all together, you know, and didn't get it organized in their mind. So we have an extremely organized system right now. It's a very, very specific funnel that we put people through. And the results are off the charts what people are getting right now. As a matter of fact, we have a bunch of our top coaches on this Zoom here with us today. We just did 30 hours with Tony Robbins. So we just couldn't wait to get back into Zoom again and be here with all of you. So I want to give a shout out to all my UPW crew here that came with us here. Their businesses have just exploded from this program. And it isn't just their businesses, but just to be able to help another person now start a business that's brand new that never heard of Youngevity before. But really, we want to go through these C's, right, Sheryl? There's some C's that we've come up with, why this course has worked so well and why it has such a dramatic effect on people. So Sheryl, let us know what the first C is there.
Yeah, so there's six C's total. And the very first one is clarity. And I absolutely love this because it seemed like for years and years and years, I wasn't quite clear. Just like Paul said, you know, putting everything together and then making it like a step-by-step system. That's really what I needed. But the clarity that we talk about and that we have found is that people don't have clarity on what they really want. So, and I'm like, Paul, really, come on, people have to know at least what they want. So I would go out and I would ask people, well, what exactly do you want? And I still do it today because I'm absolutely amazed by it, that people really don't have any idea what they want. And if they do have an idea, it's kind of vague, you know, and we want it to be very, very specific. So the very first C is getting very clear on exactly what you want in life. And really what we talk about quite a bit is that you get to live the life that you want. And so what does that look like to you? And every person is different.
Yeah, it's so true. Because Sheryl and I, we talk to people all day long and coaches, and they're busy. And like, I just feel like I'm super busy. I work for my Youngevity business, but I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. So we would ask them, well, where'd you want to go? And it was silence. You know, there was no answer. So we knew that people weren't clear on the result that they wanted to get here at Youngevity. So now we're very laser focused on car qualified 1-star. We're going to get you there. We're going to get you your 12 in right away. It's step number one is getting that first 12 in. And then out of those 12, to find the 3 out of every 12, there's 3 people that want to do this business, that want to be a health coach as well and spread Dr. Wallach's message. So the second C is competence. Like, okay, I know what I want in life now, but how in the world do I get it? So it was the competence of knowing first of all, the health part of things. You know, the 4 categories as Doc teaches it. And Dr. Wallach, in his brilliance, has come up with ways to fix over 900 different health problems. And it really isn't rocket science. When you break it down, it's quite simple. So the way we do it in the coaching program is we break down the complicated to the simple and teach you exactly how to meet with a client, hear what's going on, and then react to it in the right way by making the proper recommendations to them based on their budget. You know, some people come in and they just, this is what you need, but I only can afford this, which is fine. So we want to get everyone in and meet them where they are and get them started. But, you know, it's to have that competence to know what to do with a client and how to get them healthy, and the competence on how to actually build a business. Because a lot of people were just confused, and a confused mind will do nothing. So to remove that confusion and provide that clarity, as Sheryl mentioned, on exactly what you want and now how you're going to get it, was huge for a lot of people. But Sheryl, we know there's another C that's super important.
Yeah, I think this one might be the most important one for me, which is the confidence to actually do it, right? I mean, you have to get into action. And I think so many times, you know, people are, well, I need to learn a little bit more, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. And so everyone was, it seemed like, was having a hard time really doing the actions that, you know, that it really takes to build your business. And I think especially for women, what I found is that the self-confidence when they're very first starting to build their business isn't always there for any of us. It definitely wasn't there for me. I was fresh out of Taco Bell and I had zero confidence. And so just, you know, being able to have the confidence to move forward and to know the steps that you're going to take to do that, I think it's just, it has really made a huge difference.
Yeah, 100%. It's the confidence is everything. If you're not absolutely certain of what to do, then like I said, the confused mind won't do anything. And that's super important. So what we found though, as we were going through the program, is there was another C, which is comprehensive. Like it has to be everything, because people would get the certificate, but now they're like, okay, I sort of know what to do, but I'm not exactly. And social media became the place to build your business last year with COVID. So we wanted to come up with a very effective Facebook and social media strategy for people and teach them exactly how to make the touches and how to get into groups and meet people and how, well, first of all, how to identify who you're looking for. And it was funny because we did a couple of retreats last year at a beach house, and we asked coaches there and Michelle Wallach was there too. We asked the coaches, who are you looking for? And Sheryl, I remember that they said, we're looking for sick people.
Yeah.
And we knew then that we weren't clear on who our avatar was. We're not necessarily looking for people who have on death row, you know, that we want to find people who are, you know, want to live that health and wellness lifestyle. And so we got really, really clear, how people become clear on who they're looking for, how to find those people, how to properly bring them in through the steps of the funnel, where we're meeting with them initially. We're having that conversation because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And too many people, I believe, here at Youngevity, they're so excited about Dr. Wallach, so excited about our BTT and our 90 and everything. They just want to tell about all the products and not really express an interest in the client themselves. And Sheryl had a great, brilliant idea to switch the wording from customer to client, where you take a more deeper interest in the person when they're a client as opposed to being a customer. So I thought that was brilliant. A couple other things we made that, as far as wording goes, that has made a big, big difference. But Sheryl, there's one other thing that, well, there's two other things, but one thing that is huge for people. Yeah.
Yeah. And Caroline talked about it. She talked about the importance of being an expert and looking like an expert as you're speaking with your clients. And when you have a client, I really think that you need to be looked at by your client, and just exactly what she said, as an expert. And I really believe that that's what we've done. So you get your certificate, you get your blue shirt. And the amazing thing to me is that after doing the health coaching program, the 8 different units or so, you really are an expert. I mean, I think that we've really been able to put everything together in a way that is going to give you that confidence and really make you feel like an expert, so that you can go out and help those clients. And I love the whole idea of, you know, being certified. And I think that people, especially today, really look for that certification. So I love that we have the certification and that you really are an expert when you're done with those. And then the continuing education to me is unbelievable. That was really important to both Paul and I, because there's always continuing education in, you know, in the medical field, in the in law practices, and for lawyers, there's always that continuing education. So we think that is like one of the most important things too that come along with the coaching program.
Absolutely, and the certificate has done so much. So the certificate's given the person who got the certificate the confidence that they really need. That I have a piece of paper now. You know, and that piece of paper means so much to people and means a lot to me when I graduate from college. I have a master's degree, all those different certificates that I have on my wall mean a lot to me. So I know how valuable certificates are. But what kind of surprised us that we didn't quite see coming was how other people now look at us. So one of the biggest things in network marketing is, oh, that's just Paul. You know, he was that guy in high school that was on the football team and he really was a nobody, you know. But now that I went online and I'm like, hey, I'm taking this course. Oh, Paul's finally doing something with his life, you know. So I'm, you know, so you can post these kind of things and your friends start to look at you differently. Like and now, oh, and your family, yeah, especially your family, you know. Oh, finally Joey's doing something, you know. And so it had a huge impact on that. But Sheryl, the biggest thing, the thing that just warms our heart. Yeah, and it's the community. So it's all of you together. I believe we've created the most incredible community here of people sticking together and pushing each other, challenging each other, helping each other. I mean, all of that, especially through COVID, was so critical. But it's still, I think, Sheryl, is huge right now. I mean, I'm just with the clan we have at UPW right now, the community. You know, we're all coming together and just. Like everybody just rises up when we work together and support each other.
Absolutely, I love it, and it's so fascinating to me. And of course, I'm going to speak for the women because I am a woman. So, but Deb told us on a call that we were on just a little bit ago that 87% of women work like 1,000 times better or so much more successful if they have a community that they are with, that they are, you know, building with, and if they're, you know, that they're hanging out with, that they're doing Zooms with, that they're just with, right? Because we want to, I feel like I want to be in a community and I want to cheer other people on and I want to be there for other people and I want to be able to ask questions. I want a safe place where we can all get together and say the things that we need to say to move forward, all of us, as we're building our businesses. So community to me is like, that's like my favorite C out of all of those is the community and just being there for others. And then, and I've really found too, Paul, over the last, you know, year or as we've been doing this, that so many people have been there for me and lifted me up and helped me through those tough times. So I love community.
Yeah, it's been so wonderful. And so Gracie, thank you so much for having us on. I hope we can answer any kind of questions people have, but you know, if someone hasn't joined yet, they just go to hccjoin.com and you can join there. And we make it extremely inexpensive because we want people to spend their money on the products, not the course. So we're just making a nominal fee to take the course, but it's worth it. You know, there's courses out there that are $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 that it's just as good, if not better than. And what it gives you is that ability to create an amazing lifestyle. I mean, you know, with most coaching programs, you're just going to be a coach, but we actually have training to move you from a coach to a captain, and then from a captain to a CEO, and move up the ranks here. And it's so simple to do with this program. So it gives you massive leverage too, by having, you know, now we have coaches on your. I know Becca, I think she has 78 coaches on her team right now. So you can just imagine the type of leverage that gives.
Who has 78 coaches?
Becca.
Fantastic. Well, maybe we should get her having a little testimony on here. Becca, would you mind doing a little testimony for us? Tell us, what are you doing? How's it impacted your business? Can you please? Where is she? I know she's on the call.
I'm here. I'm here.
And you're the one that does the beautiful job managing the Facebook page, and when we register and making sure we're linked to the right places. I want to thank you because when I got registered, you made sure I got part of the group and was feeling a little bit like like a doe with lights in my eyes, and I wasn't sure, and you really made me feel a lot more comfortable and confident what I was doing. So thank you. So tell me, this team on here would love to hear, how has it impacted your business? What have you done?
So basically, whenever I started with Youngevity about 5 years ago, I started getting people that were interested in the program, but I didn't have time to spend, 20 hours with them nonstop, keeping them, focused, keeping their direction going. And with the health coach certification course, that is all in place. I'm able to plug them in. They're interesting videos that just really pulls people in and boosts that excitement of wanting to know more and more. So I had all of these coaches, and they were actually inactive. And I was able to reach out to them and say, hey, we have this certification course going on right now. It's only $9.95 a month, or $99.95 for the whole entire year. Would you be interested in taking it? Whether it's for your own health or to get your business started, that's totally up to you. But I would really love for you to, restart and get that passion back that really drove you into wanting to do this business. And so many people are like, really? How do I get going? So I was able to help them get started. Now, as I'm bringing in new people, I can plug them in right away. I can keep that interest. I can keep that enthusiasm going. I am blessed to be part of keeping it going because I can keep my finger on everything that's happening and make sure that, the things that are within my control are running smoothly. And yeah, if something goes wrong, it's my fault. I've got broad shoulders. I can take it and we'll get it figured out. But I think everything's going really well at the moment. And the feedback has just been incredible. I mean, I have doctors and retired doctors and physical therapists and stay-at-home moms. I've got people that are retired from management positions with large corporations that are really interested in regaining or maintaining their health and helping others do the same. So I really encourage you not to prejudge anybody. Anybody. As you're speaking with people and you're getting to know, their hurts, you can say, hey, there's this health coach certification course that you might be interested in, and just present it to them as a resource for gaining more information to help themselves. And then when they see that there's a business with it and they can actually make money to help pay for their own supplements, they get going. And I love it.
Brilliant. Well, congratulations. And I guess your future is looking even brighter. And that's
I'm excited.
Awesome. And I hear you're the queen of time management. So just give us a little quick, we got a couple more minutes here. But tell us, what does a day in the life look like for Beck?
Day in the life for Rebecca is up at 4:30 doing my meditation, self-development, getting my son going with his homeschooling, going through making sure that there aren't any questions within the health coach certification group, answering any text messages or emails that come in, and then working on my own business as well. So
what does that look like?
Nonstop. Nonstop. But I have a lot of customers that are emailing in. I have people that just have questions in regards to things that I put out there. I have a little newsletter that I have as well. So I have people that ask questions from the newsletter. that I'm able to answer, and it's just been incredible that, you know, we have this system in place now that we're able to just get them plugged in, and it's really good for self-starters.
And
Really
so,
good.
And so it's good. So you get new people doing the health quiz on a daily basis?
I'd say two or three a week is
Yeah.
my goal.
Yeah.
A minimum of 4 per month. But over this amount of time in the beginning, especially when I started reaching out to those people that were inactive and now getting them going and building businesses and building 1-stars, it's been very instrumental in making a bright future.
Fantastic. Excellent. Well, thank you so much. Well, before we wrap this up, before the doc comes on the call, Paul and Sheryl, do you want to tell them what they can expect for signing up and registering? Like, how many hours does it take, and what does the units look like? If we can quickly roll through that for those that maybe don't know.
Yeah, so again, you just go to hccjoin.com, and there's a great page that kind of explains everything that happens there in the different units and stuff. But as you mentioned, there's 8 different units, and we start off just by talking about the core philosophy that Dr. Wallach has, and we're teaching the course from a standpoint that we assume the person listening has never heard of anything. You know, so this is for someone who literally you've just met, they've come to Youngevity and said, I want to be part of this. You know, I want to start from the beginning. So we introduce who Dr. Wallach is, what he's done in his life. We have people watch the incredible documentary from Dr. Wallach, which is just unbelievable. And listen to Dead Doctors Don't Lie, you know, and all that, just to get the background information in, and then teaching about the 4 categories of health, and then go into the whole sunflower, you know, where we always lead with the minerals. And then we go to the middle of the sunflower and teach the importance of the 90. We got to have all 90. And then the rest of the course really is built around the sunflower, the petals on the flower, to know which add-on products to add for which problems.
Excellent.
Just like Dr. Wallach teaches us. And, you know, the health evaluation itself does like 90% of the work for you, because in business, all you got to do is find a problem and provide a solution. And that's exactly what the system does. It looks for, tell me your problems, and then it's going to tell you what the solutions are. But the coaches are still very, very needed, because there's some massaging. I mean, this is just a computer program. It's not a human. So the computer is very, you know, analytical. If you told me this, then it's this product. But we teach through the health coursing program, where this is just as much art as it is science. So you got to know the person, know what, you know, and the great thing about Youngevity is we have plan A, B, C, and D, sometimes E. So lots of different choices for things. And if one thing doesn't work, we can try B, you know, and know that all those different things are there. And to have that whole recommendations of which products are going to be best for this person, and not just which products are good for this person, but it also scores each of the products on a scale from 1 to 100. So you really know, wow, this product scored an 87. So what that means is this product has an 87% chance of making that person's health score go up, which is all we're concerned about. That is our number one focus, is a person's health score. So just turning, and I just got done with Business Mastery a few months ago with Tony Robbins, and I showed him this health evaluation, because he has something called a life assessment tool that he uses. And this is just for health, a health assessment, but it actually turns health into a number, and you have to quantify things if you want to be able to manage them. So to turn that into a number and now be able to help people manage their health through that number has been a game changer. And as soon as we make that number go up, 3 great things happen. Number 1, the person never gets off the product because they know it works. Number 2, they usually want to buy more product, because if that worked, what else you got that could help me? And then number 3, they start referring their friends to you and want to be a health coach themselves, because they see the dramatic impact it had on themselves, and they want to help everyone they love have that same kind of feeling. So it really, you know, there's only 3 ways to make volume go up, and this health evaluation makes the volume go up all 3 of those ways. And every single time they get retested, it obviously brings up new products that, hey, based on your health score, you should try this, and this. And it's all based off of Dr. Wallach's teachings.
Well, we love what you've done. We want to thank you guys for coming on here. We've posted it. I want everyone to know, especially those from down under, that if anybody needs additional coaching that have taken this program, that myself personally, well, I'm happy to set you up on weekly calls, coaching calls, and just really confirm that you're feeling that you're getting everything you need through this course